in North India, in a small industrial town 200 kilometers north of Delhi. My parents migrated from Pakistan at the time of the Indian partition. They got married after independence, and as I said, I was born in this small town in North India. So I grew up there, did my schooling there, and then went to medical school in Pune, which is 200 kilometers southeast of Bombay. It's about 1,200 miles away from my hometown. And during the training as a doctor, as a medical student, I decided that I wanted to do psychiatry, and one of the main reasons for me to migrate to the UK was to do psychiatry and then go back. I finished my training, and while I was training, I met Mike in 1980, and we've been together since then, so it's 37 years. I did my training, and because the healthcare systems are so different, I decided to stay back, and worked as an academic for a number of years till retiring a couple of years ago. I think it is the challenge really for gay men and lesbians generally has been the societal attitudes, and certainly 30 years ago there were major problems in the UK itself, and there still are in India, for example. It's an illegal act. Police can arrest you, and those attitudes then feed into people's coping mechanisms, because you cope by not telling anyone or telling few selected good friends. And one of the challenges in the UK at that time had been the secrecy, and all the things were beginning to change after the 1968 Act. There were still issues about age and when you come out and who do you come out to. And fortunately, in the UK, that has changed. Civil partnership and now gay marriage are legal. In India, on the other hand, things are still frozen at that stage. A few years ago in Delhi, Delhi High Court decided to decriminalize homosexual behavior, but on appeal by various organizations, mostly religious, Supreme Court overturned it, arguing that this needs to go back to the Parliament for change. And as far as I'm aware, nothing has happened since that decision was made. One of the major challenges for any civilized society is to make sure that all its citizens are treated equally, with equal rights, and there's no discrimination. Whether it is based on religion, whether it's based on gender, whether it's based on sexual orientation, disability, any number of other factors. So rights are rights. That's why they're called rights, that people need to have certain rights when they're living in a country, when they're functioning in a country. And gay rights are equally important. And one of the major studies from the United States showed that in various American states where the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender population were given equal rights in law, the rates of psychiatric disorders among these groups dropped. So there is quite a clear correlation between rights and mental health.